The heated battle versus the Warhammer Titan continues in Attack on Titan. Will the Scouts win this ultimate battle for freedom? So what's up guys, Fox in here. Time for a little follow-up to my Attack on Titan chapter 102 review. That last chapter dropped at like 2 AM. After getting some sleep, I took a look back at the chapter, and I think there's still a lot more that I want to talk about. If you haven't seen my chapter 102 review, watch that first, then bounce back here. There's a lot of different stuff I want to touch on here. For the first topic, let me bring up Pieck, Porco, and whoever put them in the hole. For a few months now, there's been a discussion about who this mystery soldier was. I think with this chapter, we didn't exactly get an answer, but we could rule a couple of people out. First off, Pieck said that she recognized this person. Looking back at that moment, it really could have only been Coney, Jean, or a certain barbecued person. In this chapter, you saw the new older Coney and Jean, so you could rule them out. The thing is, was this Armin? Sure, she saw him back then, but that was a barbecued version. I mean, that'd be like if you bought a Big Mac, then 4 years later you suddenly ran into the cow it came from, and somehow you knew that the burger came from this cow. Anyway, more importantly, first of all, whoever this person was knew that these massive Titan hoes were even in Marley. This should make you wonder who told them about this. I could only imagine that this is not stuff that's common knowledge. The last time they were used was also like 100 years ago. And then the second important thing to notice, whoever this person was, they were either careless by keeping no one to watch them, which really does reflect really badly on the Scouts, or it could be possible that this individual acted on their own. I'm not really convinced about this yet, but just throwing it out there. Either way, by being careless or not, the Scouts in the current situation have 2 more Titan shifters to deal with. Also, by not capturing Zeke either, I guess that's now 3 shifters they could have avoided. Whoops, my bad. What makes this even stranger is this, that so far the Scouts have not had any hesitation in killing the Marley soldiers. So why not kill these shifters or have someone eat them? Like Sasha, Coney, they could use the upgrade. All I'm saying is that this makes the situation even that more suspicious. What do you think? Definitely let me know how you see this down below. Next up, let's talk about the older Levi. It seems like a lot of people were happy to see the older Levi post time skip. And yes, Levi is pushing almost 40 years old now. I have seen the question about why he doesn't look older, or really different at all. It really should come down to those Ackerman genes. Who knows, the Ackerman could be like Saiyans. They'll stay young forever until they're like 70, or was it 80? But anyway, back to some stuff about Levi. One of the interesting things from this chapter to notice is that this guy is still using the old 3D maneuver gear. I went back and checked out every single Scout, but Levi's the only one with this older one. I do wonder why. Did he just really not want to use the guns? Is Levi just being super old school? I mean, Levi is the only one wearing the Survey Corps old cape. Who knows, maybe Levi's just being super traditional. Besides the old 3D maneuver gear on Levi, the only other notable thing on him were the blades. I mentioned before how notably Levi's using no guns, but also those blades seem to be smaller than the ones before. I guess Levi is the only one on Titan slashing duty? It couldn't be that he doesn't want to kill people, he's killed people in the Uprising arc. Perhaps Levi just wants to make it a lot more personal, like you're getting the honor and getting sliced in 2 by Levi. But being serious about the blades, it seems like these things do have a new design. They're definitely shorter. If you recall the previous blades, they look like box blade cutters. The ones that Levi is using here don't have that segment design. I recall them mentioning in the manga before that they used to be this way, so the blades could be more easily repaired. I think that was in the Before the Fall manga, so not sure how canon that is. So now with these new blades, they're shorter, perhaps stronger, maybe lighter? The real important question here is, can Levi still do the Beyblade technique? Anyway, still on the topic of Levi, let me bring up Levi versus the Jaws Titan. Maybe I'm overthinking this, but this seemed a little strange. What was Levi up to only slicing the jaw of the Jaws Titan mouth? I mean, bros Mikasa and him were there. They could have easily turned the Jaws Titan into sushi and also had dinner before Pieck showed up. Was this a calculated move, or am I just overthinking it? Let me know what you think below. Next up, the Warhammer Titan, and I do plan to have a separate full discussion video on this thing. For here, let me just mention that creepy woman in the crystal. I think it tells us a lot when this woman was still conscious in the crystal and able to move around. But really, going back to the beginning when Mikasa shot it down, is Mikasa and the Scouts getting a little too careless? I mean, no double tapping it? Really? These are the same guys that already fought the Armor Titan before. Remember what that thing did? The Armor Titan was able to transfer his brain to his ass and survive. Don't you think the Warhammer Titan could do the same or more? I think this was a huge oversight on their part. Anyway, back to the Ackerman, let me bring up one of my favorite shots in this chapter, and that's the Jaws Titan one. I really love seeing this guy's oh crap moment. I think he quickly figured out how these guys were not scared of him. I'm sure that the Jaws Titan is used to soldiers running away from his ass. But no, this is the Survey Corps. These guys were freaking racing to see which one would get the kill first. I freaking love that. And then there was a line about the Ackerman. It looks like he's aware about them. I could just imagine if Pieck hadn't shown up, this guy would have been sliced into nice sushi. Too bad. Hopefully next chapter. By the way, I think a perfect successor to the Jaws Titan would be Coney. Think about it. Next up, let me bring up the final panel shot in this chapter. I gotta be honest, I didn't pay too much attention to the background characters the first time reading it, but some people have pointed it out to pay attention to this particular character with the long hair. The main question right now is, who is this? And the speculation and theories have started. A couple of people have mentioned Armin, which I highly doubt. They would have made a much bigger deal. I've also seen Historia thrown around. For this one, really, I don't think they're gonna send their queen anywhere near here. And then this other interesting idea has been that girl that Mikasa saved 4 years back. If you can't remember who, it's this one. Honestly, even for me, I'm saying that's a stretch. You do have to consider the fact that it has been 4 years. There's been plenty of time to train a lot more rookie scouts. And also don't forget, the funny part about this is that this might be a dude. Next up, let me talk about female Eren, Gabi. I've actually been a little surprised about seeing the amount of hate this character is getting from this chapter. So in this chapter, you had Sasha spare her life. I think this is gonna go back to that popular quote about no good deed goes unpunished. You had Gabi pick up the gun and she's heading towards the battlefield. I'm calling it now, and I think I did in the past too. Gabi is definitely gonna take someone out. The question is who? I think it's gonna be someone important to Sasha specifically. The thing is, it has to be important enough for it to hurt, but it can't be someone too major. A key character being killed by her, I really doubt. So here are the possible choices. You have Jean, Coney, or Floch. And specifically, Gabi may shoot him in the ass. So place your bets now. Who is Gabi gonna kill? Next up, talking about Coney and Sasha, let me bring them up. More specifically, I want to talk about those lights and whatever the hell they were doing. When I was rereading this, I caught something that I didn't catch the first time. You see Coney putting up these lights, and I'm still not 100% convinced on what they're for, but something else was there. Coney goes ahead and mentions how the streets were also blocked off. So altogether, the scouts seem to be blocking the whole festival area. There's two key takeaways from this. It seems that they're blocking the streets to limit the civilian casualties, which I think is a huge part of it, and also limit reinforcements from getting in easily. Non-Titan Shifter reinforcements, that is. The second thing is actually a potential negative for the scouts. I'm sure they realized it that by using this blockade in their plan, they're gonna have to fully rely on their 3D maneuver gear to work. It has to last them until the very end of this fight. Hopefully they got some spots to refill, because right now if you're out of gas, that means you're a dead man. Which I guess isn't too different from back then when fighting mindless titans. Anyway, back to the lights. My wild guess about these lights is that it's part of their escape strategy. Perhaps they got some great super flash distraction so they could get away. I have been joking around that Armin's gonna use them to land in the area and just nuke it, but really the chances of that happening are slim. Who knows, what do you think? Come on, I want to hear a crazy guess for what these lights are for. And talking about nuking the area, where is Armin? Could Armin be incoming in some balloon? Hopefully Eren didn't already eat him. I know that's super unlikely, but I think that would be a major shock. What I do want to see is Armin's new updated look. I'd imagine he looks something like the Fullmetal Alchemist Edward. But really about Armin, I have been joking around about Armin landing and nuking the whole area. Because really I don't see that happening. For one, Armin would be against it. At least the Armin from 4 years back. But more importantly is that every scout is still in the nation. They're still in the area. I think the potential risk for friendly fire is too huge. The only way I see Armin using that nuke is to use it on the outer 30,000 troops coming in. I mean, the scouts will need something huge to take care of them. Perhaps colossal. The big question right now is, where exactly is Armin? I have seen some people throw out the idea that Hanji and Armin stay back on, I was about to say Foul Island, but wrong series. That Armin and Hanji stayed back on Paradise Island to protect it. I'm not sure how much protection the island realistically needs. And right now, Levi and friends could use the Colossal Titan on their side. Then again, the question again comes up. If they're not going to use the Colossal Titan as a nuke, how useful is this thing really? I mean, sure, it's going to have a mini explosion when it transforms. But then after that, it's going to be a massive bullseye for the 30,000 troops. And maybe that's fine. So, place your bets for Armin. Is he gonna nuke or not nuke? Let me now touch on the older Eren. From what little you've seen so far about Eren post-time skip, he's given off this totally different vibe compared to that kid he used to be. For me, Eren comes off as a more hardened, more chilled soldier that actually thinks things through. In this chapter, Eren displayed that even more. Eren did notice pretty quickly and found the weak spot for the Warhammer Titan. All Eren had to do after that was quickly unplug it. Although, to be a little fair to the Warhammer Titan, the massive cable shouldn't have been too hard to spot from above. Or Warhammer Titan, you should have gone cordless. On the other hand, I did mention the thing about double tapping this thing. Eren did mention noticing something at the beginning strange about this Titan. This should have been even more reason for him to completely destroy that thing. I guess Eren still has a lot more to learn. And then after Eren, the perfect follow-up is the older Zeke. After missing for a chapter, the Beast Titan conveniently shows up once the Jaws and Peak are in position. Not to mention, this thing is just casually walking up to Levi, like no problem. Doesn't anyone else think that's a little strange? Zeke right there should have been getting some sushi PTSD. Like, oh no, one Beast Titan steak coming right up. It also seems like Levi wasn't too surprised at all. Perhaps almost as if expecting the beast to show up. Right in that same page, Jean says it's coming. Like he's not surprised at all. Anyway, before all of this, the last time you saw Zeke, he was getting super far away from the festival events, which was after being led away by that soldier. Somehow, Zeke just happened to not run into any soldier or any scout on the way back to the festival. In all, this really just adds more to the mystery of what is going on with Zeke. I do wonder, is it possible for Zeke to be working with another third party, which could complicate things even further? Anyway, that's it for my more detailed follow-up discussion. Let me hear from you. What is really going on between the scouts, Marley, and Zeke? Is anything happening at all? Why did that mystery soldier leave Zeke alone, and also make it easier for two Titan shifters to escape? Do you honestly see Armin nuking the whole area? Oh, and how about Annie? Where is she? Definitely be sure to give this a colossal thumbs up and subscribe. A lot more Attack on Titan theory videos are coming. Right now I have 4 lined up after this chapter. And who knows, your comments could inspire a lot more. So, if there's any idea you want me to talk about, post it in the comments. Be sure to subscribe for those upcoming videos, and I'll see you guys later.